My name is Brock Page, and I don't know anything about sports handicapping. I hope you're having a great day. It's Wednesday afternoon. We haven't even gotten to our Wednesday night games yet, but I'm already looking forward to Thursday's action. So let's go ahead and throw some proverbial darts in my underwear with some severely misguided sports picks in my two-bedroom apartment. First game I have for you, it is going to be St. Louis laying $1.40 at Philadelphia with the total at 8.5 runs. Currently, the Phils are getting 1.5 on the run line. Probables, Martinez for the Cards, Nola for the Fightins. Speaking of the Phils, they've been ice cold as of late, going 1-9 in their last 10. They're also a winless 0-4 against these very St. Louis Cardinals. Believe it or not, however, despite being arguably the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball, there are a few bright spots for this Philadelphia team in this game. They're facing a Cardinals team who's won just 14 of 33 games on the road. And that's about it. Having said that, though, St. Louis has been very good against bad teams, winning an impressive 71% of their games versus teams under 500. They're also 20-18 in games as the official favorite. With all that quality information in mind, the case can indeed be made for either side. Therefore, without any further ado, the time for talk is over. It's time for me to throw some proverbial darts in my underwear with a severely misguided baseball pick in my two-bedroom apartment. Although I made a case for both sides, a feeble one at that, the fact of the matter is the Phillies continuously prove that they are one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball history. Moreover, they win a pitiful 33% of their games when Nola makes the start. Even worse, yes, it actually gets worse, the Phils are winning a pitiful 20% of their games versus 500 teams. Having said all that, I like the Moneyline equity here. I'm going to go ahead and pick the St. Louis Cardinals, who are laying just $1.40. I'm predicting a final score of 6-5 Cards. With my first dart in the books, we're going to slide into game 2 of the show. I'm talking about San Francisco plus 1.5 at the Atlanta Braves with the total at an even 9 runs. And at the moment, the Braves are laying $1.52 on the money line. Probables, Kane for the Giants, Garcia for the Braves. And speaking of Atlanta, they have been playing some quality baseball as of late, going 3-1 in their last 4. They also have won 57% of their games that opened up at the current money line. With those very positive figures in mind, there are some trouble spots for Atlanta bettors as this Braves team wins just 39% of their games as the official home underdog. They're also facing a Giants team who holds the edge in head-to-head matchups. This Giants team is actually 3-2 in their contest with the Braves. So as bad as this Giants team has been, they're actually favored to win this one tonight. Just kidding, but they could. As far as my opinion on who wins it, the time for talk on this game is over. It's time for me to throw my second dart in my underwear with another severely misguided sports pick in my two-bedroom apartment. Although they're the underdog, the Giants team is rotten. I got nothing. They're winning 31% on the road and a pathetic 26% versus teams under 500. It's for these very reasons that I think the Atlanta Braves get the job done for some moneyline cash. I'm predicting a final score of 6-4 Braves. All right, we're going to slide into my next game where I'm going to throw dart number 3. Arizona plus 1.5 at Colorado with the total at 11.5 runs. Currently, the Rockies are the moneyline favorites at $1.15. Tonight's probables, Godley for Arizona, Sensatella for Colorado. And speaking of the Rockies, they've been red hot as of late, winning their last 6 consecutive. They've also had significant success against this Diamondbacks team, going 5-2 in head-to-head matchups with the D-backs. But if you think the Rockies are a lock to win, keep in mind they've won just 50% of their games that opened up at the current money line. They're also facing a D-backs team who's winning an impressive 75% of their games when Godley makes the start on the mound. With all that in mind, this is going to be a great game and really a great end to the series. A couple of the best teams in baseball at the moment. That said, Going to be a tough one to pick, but the time for talk is indeed over for this one. It's time for me to throw my third and final dart in my underwear with another severely misguided baseball pick in my 2-bedroom apartment. These teams are very good in the best division in baseball. Having said that, this D-backs team wins just 45% of their games as the official road underdog. They're also facing a Rockies team who's a solid 10-4 when Antonio Senzatella makes the start. It's for these very reasons that I think the Rockies at $1.15 will get the job done for some Moneyline cash. I'm predicting a final score of 5-4 Colorado. And I said that was my last start. I got a bonus dart for you. I have my first 3 picks in the books. I'm throwing one more bonus dart, and I'm going to slide in my 4th and final game for the show. I normally do 3. Today, I got 4 for you. Once again, 2 days in a row. I'm talking about Houston laying $1.41 at Oakland with the total at an even 10 runs. Currently, the A's are getting 1.5 on the run line. Probables Polino for the Astros, Jesse Hahn for the A's. And speaking of Oakland, they're struggling against these Astros, dropping the first 2 games of the series. They're also winning just 38% as the underdog or even money. But if you think the A's can't get the job done, keep in mind they are 12-10 as the official home underdog. They're also facing a Houston team who dropped 2 of 3 to Boston over the weekend. Having said all that, the case can be made for either side. Yada, yada, yada. The time for talk is over. Something about throwing a dart, dirty underwear, 2-bedroom apartment, or 1-bedroom. Who the hell knows? But when it comes to picking a winner in this one, I did make the case for both sides. That said, these Astros are a dominant 6-1 in head-to-head matchups with Oakland this season. They're also an absurd 83% as the official road favorite. These boys travel well. All told, I think the Houston Astros win this one outright for some Moneyline cash. I'm predicting a final score of 5-3 Astros. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Before I get out of here, though, I have to remind you that, I'm not a sports betting expert. Of course I'm not. A wise man once said, good ain't free and free ain't good. So if for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. More importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page. And have yourself a positive day.